The MedBricks webcast is focused on bringing distinguished Indians and others from diverse fields of science, medicine, technology, and philosophy to learn from each other and to create a new understandings and foster new ideas related to healthcare. Hey, good morning, India. Good afternoon in somewhere. Good evening in California, and good night, sleepy time in East Coast. This is Ramana Anamraju, MedBricks webcast. This is MedBricks webcast. I'm the Ramana Anamraju. I'm the web host. Um, we are really going to have a very great program today. In India we have a huge number of programmers all over the world from India. So I want to say they design a lot of software systems and they become architects. So I wanted to tell you something about the inherent problem with the computer codes. So computer software algorithms inherent problem that is comes from somewhere else, from the universe itself. Interestingly, but so I'm going to talk about that in a second. I'm going to play a video first, and then Hello, my name is Ramana Anamraju. I'm going to introduce you to one of the most enigmatic and elusive concepts in the entire field of science from my book, Science is Not a Subject, Science Must Be a Lifestyle. The concept is called entropy. I'm focusing on one aspect of entropy related to information and its connection with the present day healthcare challenges. Entropy is like a ghost, but it is a mean one. You don't see it, you cannot talk to it, it never leaves you, it threatens your job, it tries to destroy your health, it affects your performance, it follows you wherever you go and whatever you do. You feel and see only its destruction. It is not your competitor you need to worry about this elusive ghost. It is your enemy number one. Please pay attention. It makes a difference in your career, in your job, and your duties. If you are a policymaker, you have to understand the impact of money and the economy of your citizens. If you are the CEO of a healthcare system, you have to be concerned about access and equity for all your members. And if you are a software engineer, you need to analyze simplicity versus complexity with your user experience design. As I mentioned before, entropy is your number one enemy. It is true what they say, know your enemy first, then you can come up with a strategy to deal with it. We need to start with the question how much you know and how much you don't know about a system you're working on. This is not some philosophical or a new age question. You have to quantify with the numbers. It is a scientific question to the core. The answer is not that easy. Fortunately, there was a guy smarter than all of us, gave a stunning insight. His name is Ludwig Boltzmann, an Austrian physicist, lived in the latter part of 1800s, came up with a statistical formula for known versus unknown. It is not just a formula, it is a law, second law of thermodynamics. In urban slang, we call it as a law of entropy. The law is not limited to known versus unknown, it is present everywhere, materials and processes and even life itself. Entropy is a true measure of your ignorance of a system. You may say, I don't know a lot of things, but I know what I know, and what I don't know, I don't know. This statement may seem right before you know about the law of entropy. The law of entropy says the unknown does not sit idle. It is constantly attacking your known systems. Entropy wants you to become ignorant and leaves you in constant confusion. It creates a chaos, your understanding of any system dwindling every day by law of entropy. Only way out is to fight it. Entropy is a tough concept to comprehend. I will do my best here with a simple example. You see a picture of a teacup with the 2 sugar cubes in the bottom and the top teacup is mixed with the sugar. Adding 2 cubes of sugar makes you happier, but your happiness does not come for free. I know sugar prices are going up. Still worse, the law of entropy says your ignorance is also going up. You have known knowledge that there are two sugar cubes. Since you know something makes the bottom cup low entropy state. Now, when you mix the sugar, you turn the simple system into a complex system. Even if I ask you, you cannot get sugar cubes back. Sugar is melted away and you lost all the information about the sugar cubes. The irreversibility of the process increases the state of entropy. In a split second, you made the top cup in a higher entropy state. Known system became an unknown. Just it applies to a teacup, this irreversibility is evident everywhere and everything you do. A simple realization that if you create a process for your company with some data variables, the complexity slowly seeps in. It means you lost control of your process and the information becomes chaotic. But if you keep tabs on what it takes to reverse the process to the initial state, it saves you time, money, and energy. You are keeping the ghost of entropy at bay. Life itself is a low entropy system. Zoom in or zoom out, your cells to your entire body do hand-to-hand combat with the law of entropy to keep you healthy and alive. Your number one enemy is waiting at outskirts of your life and your company. Boltzmann revealed this book of knowledge and wisdom about the universe with his famous equation. He could not convince his peers about his theory. Later, Boltzmann committed suicide, and his famous formula was written on his tombstone. Devil also, like numbers. Chaos may be its nickname, but it is speaking the nature's language, that is mathematics. Cancer is cellular chaos. There is no diagnostic equipment can measure the exact progression, but with the entropy algorithms, you can extract patterns from seemingly chaotic information. One such algorithm came from an unrelated field, football. Yes, game of soccer. Soccer fanatics wanted to know who is going to win the World Cup that is being held every 4 years. The fans include a number of scientists. They created an algorithm called World Cup Optimization Algorithm. I don't know how much it is useful in predicting the World Cup winner, but it is helping to detect and predict the progression of cancer. They are testing with the cancer of melanoma and breast cancer. Boltzmann gave the formula for entropy, but a brilliant mathematician and engineer at the Bell Labs, which became AT&T now, gave a different twist to the concept of entropy. His name is Claude Elwood Shannon. The theory bears his name. It is called a Shannon entropy. According to Shannon, the information is central to all processes.
Which I think he's very widely known for, is this notion of a fundamental limit. No matter what you do, as long as you're working with a certain amount of bandwidth, and as long as you're dealing with signals that are only so strong in the face of noise that you confront, no matter what you do, you cannot transmit more than a certain rate.
Here is one remarkable example how you can employ Shannon entropy to healthcare equity and access. The world of medicine made a huge progress in diagnostics and treatments, but healthcare delivery systems are not. A significant number of people on the planet don't see those benefits. Health inequities you can witness in rural and urban America's landscape, and worse, everywhere else. Health delivery system is riddled with complexities. It may be partially political, but it is also filled with logistical complexities. Variants like remote geography, disease burden, and economic backgrounds, to name a few. Where there is a complexity, law of entropy shines. Shannon entropy is successfully utilized by countries like Iran, Turkey, and Greece to address the inequities in healthcare delivery by allocating and utilizing existing resources more efficiently. Truly a remarkable tribute to human mind how an obscure 18th century physicist from Austria and 21st century brilliant mathematician from MIT can help humanity by discovering the hidden laws of nature. Thank you for listening. You can read in my book further. Science is not a subject, science must be a lifestyle. So this is a thank you for listening. That's a short video, but this gives you what is the concept of entropy is. Now let me talk about a little bit of the evil in the computer code and that connection with the entropy itself. So the evil in this is a his name is Kurt Godal. I don't know. Before I say anything about him, self-contradiction. There was a tweet made by the Flat Earth Society. They believe in these people, kind of nuts. They believe in the Earth is a flat, a three-dimensional flat land. That's what they believe. Is anti-Darwinian evil kind of people. So they put the tweet: the flat Earth Society has members all around the globe, but it's a contradictory. They're saying that they're admitting the Earth is a globe, and but it's a flat Earth Society. They believe in the flatness. So it's kind of funny, but if you see, that is not that funny, because these self-contradictions appear in a serious in mathematics, physics, and healthcare, and you see everywhere, particularly in everywhere in religion, of course. So self-contradictions, this was proposed by a Kurt Gödel, a Austrian physicist, came up with a mathematical platform for the mathematical the framework for these self-contradictory problems. These problems are so severe, it 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 drove Albert Einstein nuts, because he's a good friend of Albert Einstein. His ideas are so powerful. He's one of the well-known mathematicians and logicians of the century. In fact, Kurt Gödel, his name, is Austrian physician. He moved to Princeton. He was working with Albert Einstein. So I give you a 30,000 feet above kind of an example. If you want to, so there is a statement called "I am lying." You cannot prove that statement, because you could be I'm lying about I'm lying. So you cannot verify that statement. Is inherently problem is it comes in the loop. So the computer gets, if you put the similar situations, the computers, it crashes out, because it goes into the infinite loop. That's what the Kurt-Gödel incompleteness theorem is saying. That actually is incompleteness theorem proposed a very strong. That's why one of the areas mathematicians say the consciousness exists, because incompleteness theorem is allows that conscious. There's not a computer. There's everything is not a computable. There must be things that not computable things are there. So that consciousness is the solution. Is a evident up there. So now I'm not talking about statements. I'll give you one another example. Is 1 plus 0 is equal to 1 is a statement. It is, you cannot prove a beginning statement. Axioms are just basically a belief system. So even not only just religion, the mathematics has a belief system too. Those are axioms. You can go and prove it later on, but a lot of them are some of the statements. What Kurt Gödel says, that some of the statements you cannot prove it. You cannot. There are belief systems. You start with the belief, you develop equations. So inherently the problem with the thing is there is a belief system based on belief system. This drove mathematicians. He is like a devil for them. They did not like him. He was a nightmare for all the mathematicians. He's a brilliant mathematician himself, Kurt Gödel. So actually, he's the only person. Albert Einstein was scared of his Kurt Gödel, because he used to come up with all kinds of solutions to his equations, mathematical equations. One of the solutions, he said that you can go back in time and meet a grandfather. Grandfather's paradox is allowed through mathematics. Kurt Gödel proposed it, through a black hole system. So he is kind of a nightmare for all mathematicians. So there exists in mathematics, there is a steps that you cannot prove. There exists some belief system exists there. So that is the basis for this next slide I'm going to show you. The next is this Alan Turing. This is halting problem. That is actually Kurt Gödel incompleteness theorem resulted in halting theorem. It's a computer halting theorem. Alan Turing, there's a movie called The Imitation Game. You should see it. It's a very wonderful movie. He was a gay man from England. He got into trouble. He committed suicide, because of the prosecutions that he had. But he came up with a statement. He said that you cannot design computer program that tests the other program's decidability. So program 2 cannot decide whether program 1 is going to, you cannot design a program 2 to tell program 1 whether it's going to run forever or it's going to stop it. There is no way you can tell that. There is a inherent problem there. That is called a computer halting problem. Alan Turing proposed it. This halting. Alan Turing is very well known. He was in the imitation game is based on how any encryptions. He broke into encryptions of the Second World War, Hitler's encryptions. So you should read about Kurt Gödel and Alan Turing. See the movie if you get a chance. So there is a computer halting theorem. Is a big problem in computers. So there's a lot of other problems in computers. There's a polynomial. So, but a lot of people ask me, what is a test for computers is a passing, is like a human. Okay. So there is a Turing test, it's called. You can do a Turing test to test the computer is human or not. I tell you, what is the computer can be human at what level. So there's a very simple test. You put one computer in one room, computer is in one room, and the human in another room, and the interrogator asks questions, and she doesn't know who is in the what system. So she could not able to distinguish between the computer and the human. And if you do repeatedly that process, that is a Turing test. Then you can say that is quantitatively that the computer became a human. So that is the Turing test is called. Isn't in a high level, you can do mathematical expressions also the same way. But that is what the Turing test everybody talks about in TV. If a computer is going to take over the humans, the first thing is they need to pass a Turing test. So there is a technical debt. Okay, technical debt is related to the entropy, the one I was talking about. What is a technical debt? If you study software system designing, there is a complexities involved. The moment you get a complexity, entropy gets involved. That's the way it works. The moment you create the complex algorithm, as I said, that is in the T, as the example of the tea cup, same thing happens in the software also. The moment you add something, it will become a complex. Once it becomes a complex, the entropy goes up. That is called a technical debt. They have a technical name for it, Cruft. I don't know what the first time I heard about it. Cruft causes changes to make more effective. So the technical debt is the technical debt goes more complex the algorithm is, more the technical debt is, more entropy, higher the entropy is. That is the relationship between the entropy and the complex algorithms. So I give you an example of it. If you have version 1.0 and the original one, you update it to version 2, you update it to version 3. That is the complexity is going up and up. Entropy also going up. Your technical debt is going up. Your entropy is going up. That creates a mess. So that's what he's saying is that your technical debt are related to the entropy. So you cannot throw versions one after the other, because that creates a problems. So version 1, you have to very think about it when you're creating versions and adding whistles and buzzles. I'm going to talk about next slide about that. So just adding the versions is not going to, you think that somebody is going to like it, but I think you're adding is also complexity more. When the complexity goes up, entropy goes up. Entropy goes means higher chaos seeps in. Chaos comes in, unknown system seeps in. You don't have to do anything. Chaos comes automatically. When there is a technical that goes up, chaos all automatically seeps in. So your system gets messed up. So there is a red mark right there. So what do you do? How can you manage this kind of solution? So you always keep checking. If you remember, if the version 11.0 come down in the Windows, they always tell you can reverse it back to 10, you can reverse back to 9. You always check what it takes to, the reason they do that, because what it takes to reverse the process, you have to embed that process always. You always create the reverse the process. When you are a CEO of a company or a healthcare system, you need to ask the IT people, hey, what it takes to reverse, what kind of resources, financial, human, or technical resources it takes to bring it back to the original state. Always keep on asking that question. That's why you can keep the entropy at the lower level. That's the one solution definitely have. So keep reversing the process always helps you to design a better software. So so what is the software entropy is what is the software entropy? Lessons from entropy. Entropy is telling you something very important things. Keep it simple. You don't need a lot of whistles and buzzles in the system. Extremely keep it simple until it is a absolute requirement. Don't add because you need to add something. Don't add it. That is from a policy point of view. I'm giving you the CEOs the example. So IT guys tell you, oh, we can add that, we can add this, we can add that. All of the things you can do that, but think quite is that can cause a lot of problems. So keep it simple. That is a very important. Okay, just let me keep it simple. Okay. So the lessons from entropy is you don't throw updates like a pancakes, just throw it out everywhere, So you have to think about it when you do update. Is it worth it? You need to really run the feasibility study on updates, So complexity increases, remember, with every update. Follow agile methodology. Agile methodologies, waterfall and agile methodologies. Agile methodologies is my system that I designed. It is MedBricks. Is called Bricks. It's a design by assumption. It is a agile methodology. If you build through small brick systems, a small processes, build upon it. It is more powerful. So follow agile methodology. Make sure that your guys. It is worth starting sometimes with the agile methodology. Don't start with all the because there is some free app is available, and then you want to create a system with a complex system. So and always keep checking what resources it takes back to the version number 1.0, or what it takes to get back to the version 1.0. That is very important. Okay, so you need to keep on asking, okay, if I want to change it, what it takes, how much money it takes, what are the resources I need, how many programmers I need. You need to keep on asking that. Less entropy, lower the entropy, lesser the cost. Less entropy is always results in a lower the cost. Higher entropy chaos always results in higher cost. So that is a software entropy. That is evil in the code. That's what I was talking about. But let me go back to healthcare. So I wanted to go back to healthcare now. That is the entropy is also related to healthcare. I said that there's one of the fundamental questions entropy answers that. Why do we get old? Why don't we get younger? Why don't we go backwards? The laws of physics, the laws of science, laws of physics will not are time invariant. Yesterday's laws are same as tomorrow's laws. So there is no difference. There's nothing is preventing you to go backwards except the law of entropy. What is really that not the time it is creating the problem. It is a chaos. Order becomes a disorder. That chaos is creating the time. So every cell keep on fighting to be. So always cells tend to be disorder. They're going to be your collagen is going to be disorderliness takes over, and then cells information actually. I'll talk about the information. So the order versus disorder, that creates the time. Not the time is creating the order to disorder. Is the order to disorder creates the time. Actually, we are aging because order is becoming a disorder. That's a natural progression that keeps on going until the universe itself complete chaotic and dead. The heat death they call. So it has a very powerful system there. So another question, same thing you can ask, if it's a deterministic world, why we remember past, why don't we remember future? If you are kissing 30 years ago, you're kissing your loved one, your beautiful wife, whatever it is, then that you remember it, but you don't remember 30 days from now she's going to hit you with a pan. That you don't remember. The reason was that is a law of entropy. The complexity is so high in the future. The complexity of the future of the chaos is so much you don't have access. You don't have enough tools to understand, to get you don't computational power to get the future, access to the future is the one, is the evil there. So if you, so what is missing? Information is the, but what is the entropy? Is the information, is the key, is the central to all the processes. Information is everywhere. So law of entropy. So what is the information? Information is a physical, but when I say physical, it's not in the servers. I'm not talking about servers. Is a physical is in time, is not in space. It is not exist in space, exists in time. That is information. So information you have to treat like is a physical thing. It is a very precious. Information is. So the next step is that Claude Elwood Shannon is a AT&T engineer. He created a he created a kind of a why English language. He created a entropy for the English. First paper he published is the entropy of the English language. That is very interesting. So he said that, if you see this, if you can read the left side, doctor has admitted the patient. You can struggle with it, but you can read. That is a great thing about English. So this is the second one, is my language where I am from, is Andariki hello, so say hello. So that if you miss one letter on that one, it is nothing, but you cannot even know what that is, what the sentence is. So one letter. So English language as abundance is the capital letters, a lot of silent letters, small letters, and periods, punctuations. It gives a lot of abundance. It gives you keep the lower entropy lower. Aramaic, I'm saying, I hope I'm saying right. This is the Jewish language, the first language of the Jesus Christ. It has a number of questions will be 50, 10. So you don't know what that one letter missing. It's very impossible to find out. So that's why the popularity of Twitter is because the language of English language. You don't see Twitter in my language because if you miss one letter, that's, you see sometimes famous people missing one letter, you can figure it out. But here, one letter missing in my language, it's a hell breaks loose. So the Shannon entropy is telling you can apply the entropy of the second law of thermodynamics, you can apply to even to the language itself. So the English language has the power, it has it lowers the entropy. That's the reason English is becoming a very popular language around the world. So next is, so genetic information, epigenomic information. These are the two information systems we have as a body. So how to get senescent cells. They're all kind of cells that when you get a hurt or something injured, they go there and stop the bleeding. That's what their function is. But sometimes they don't do anything. They're like a dead cells. They become a pathology. They become cancerous cells. That is a big problem. What it does always. These senescent cells send the information telling them they're in stress. They're all messed up. Their information is always sent out. But the problem is our environmental stress, our problem with our climate, the food we eat, all those stresses causes to misinterpret that information from the cells. Then we get old because the food we eat, the environment, the climate, and everything influences the stresses from the cell. Then when the cell sends information that we don't know how to interpret it, the secretomes, that's called secretome, they don't know how to interpret it. That causes eventually the pile up into cancer. So information is essential to the cancer. If you create the stress problem for the cell lower, and then you maintain the balance of the entropy in the cells, that you live longer. So you can extend the life. In fact, that's what they're saying. So law of entropy is the problem to become older. So, and we keep it the lower entropy. So another thing is, this is a funny thing, but you can watch her. So you cannot be younger. You cannot go backwards, 30 years younger,
But you can see on your rooftop right now, on the ceiling, if you look at your picture for 30 seconds on a red dot, focus on it, and then look on the top, you will see it in the colors. You know, that is not you younger yourself. This is just the illusion. But what is statistical system allows you to to create that Boltzmann brains they call. So your brain automatically compiled someplace in the universe, and the younger of yourself, your brain is there is a younger brain of yourself staying there somewhere in the brain. Some you don't have access to the communication because information is the entropy is higher, so you don't have access to that younger brain of yours. That's the reason. Okay, entropy plays a very important role. They call Boltzmann brains. They float around these Boltzmann brains. So if you have time, look at it, that red dot, and look at the top of the ceiling. You will see here in colors. So younger view itself. That's the only way, an optical illusion. So lost information is a chaos. There's a law of entropy is a chaos follows precise math. So you can exactly know how to follow, how to fix the entropy. So the great thing about entropy is not some kind of a philosophical concept. It is a with a mathematical precision you can measure. That's why you can measure the progression of cancer, and you can reverse the little bit of aging process. Also, you do that because you understand the mathematics behind the entropy. So Claude Elwood Shannon gave us entropy, cancer detection, health equity and access, DNA forensics. You can do all those things with the entropy. Remission of cancer is possible. That's fun because order, disorder. Always you can make the disorder to order by using some form of energy, and so you can make it happen. Cancer can be so sometimes it's spontaneous. That's one of the reasons is statistical mechanics. It allows you spontaneous remission. So entropy also plays in the role. Entropy says that money is actually NFT money is a more equal footing rather than the money that we have, because information is uncertainty, corruption seeps in, as Steve is talking about about that entropy system. They make it this money that what that call it, I forgot the money that is a special name for it. That with the currency they don't have any in the Reserve Bank. There is no gold, nothing there. They're just tenders, legal tender. They're producing it. That is a bigger problem. It allows the corruptions. NFT doesn't allow the corruption. So it is in the lower entropy system is in the Bitcoin is not a Bitcoin is not the blockchain. Bitcoin is a blockchain. The Bitcoin is a product of the blockchain. Blockchain is a mathematical system. You cannot break it. Mathematics. What they do is all the corruptions you are seeing in Bitcoin comes from the end stage. That is what you need to fix it. So the tribute to these great men, Boltzmann and Claude Shannon. That is so we're talking about the money part of it. Let us bring Steve back to Steve. Are you there? I hope he is back to the. I think Steve is coming back, but Steve, please come down. Okay. But what are we? So the strange thing is about the universe is a life is a ordered collection of molecules. The universe started somewhere, and we assembled some of the molecules together, the atoms together, and we became ourselves. And then eventually we die. They spread across the universe. That is a life. That the entropy of life. That is the entropy. Is there good and bad? In Indian Hindu religion, what they do is they believe in the Lord Shiva. He is the ultimate destruction. He destructs the universe into a destroyer of the universe at the final stages, and then it starts back again, the universe back from beginning. So that is a story of the entropy. You must pay attention to entropy. It's a very important concept in mathematics and physics and in everywhere, in healthcare and money and everywhere. Thank you for joining. Let me bring, if you see that, Steve, I cannot see you. Are you there? So he's not there. So, but I'm going to, I'd like to ask him a question about what we can do with the system, that, but just, I'm missing it. Could not able to log in, I think. Okay, but anyway, thank you for joining. I'm truly honored. Thank you, Steve, joining with us, and I'm truly honored. Thank you all joining, and keep Entropy Lawyer. Follow and support me. We need the support of all these my buy these T-shirts. You can buy T-shirts. You can buy coffee mugs of Entropy, Boltzmann, and Claude H. Shannon's coffee cups. You can buy from my website, Amazon and Etsy. I'm going to play a small video about that, and thank you for joining.
We are retelling their stories through our patented designs that can be worn on scrubs, T-shirts, printed on conference bags, and endless other promotional materials. Daily Wear for Medicine is the first ever of its kind to create curiosity in medicine through visual art. We at MedBricks are celebrating unsung heroes of the past who made enormous contributions to the field of medicine through our unique campaign called Daily Wear for Medicine. You can wear it, carry it, and give it.